So as someone who has dealt with lower back tightness and pain in my past, I do know how frustrating and limiting it can be dealing with those issues. One of the big things I see being done incorrectly is people grabbing a foam roller when they have this lower back tightness, throwing the foam roller on the ground, laying on it, and allowing their lower back to roll back and forth on that foam roller. Now, the issue with this is if our lower back is tight and already has pain, all we're doing is putting all the load of our whole body weight on just the lower back. That's going to cause the lower back to tighten up even more, and we're going to end up doing more harm than good for ourselves. Oftentimes, the lower back tightness is actually the result of surrounding muscles, our glutes, hamstrings, quads, those hip flexors, all those things being tight. So if we can alleviate some of those surrounding muscles, then in turn we're going to help our lower back be a little bit more pain-free. Now there are a ton of different ways, of course, through stretching, mobility, but for the purpose of this video and foam rolling, we're going to focus just on that, foam rolling. I do see foam rolling being done, but I also see that many people don't really know how to foam roll correctly. They just roll forward and back on their IT band, up and down. But there are certain movements we can add while we're foam rolling to really dig in and help those muscles and areas loosen up. So we'll start it off with the hamstrings. This is pretty straightforward. You just put the roller on the ground, you'll sit up on top of it, hamstrings touching the roller, and you're just rolling back and forth. Of course, if you want to load up on just one hamstring at a time, you can do that as well. Cross the feet, and same thing, just small rolls. When you do roll, you don't want to have a very long range of motion that you're rolling over. You want to just keep it more locked in and focused to a specific area, and if that's the lower portion of the hamstring that's bugging, you do that, then maybe come up a little bit on it and then continue to work there as well. So as we roll our quads, we want to start with the lower portion. So let's take one knee out to the side like so. Think of being Spider-Man getting ready to crawl up a building, and you're going to have that roller again just above the knee. Make sure you're not rolling onto the knee. And right there, you're just going to do small rolls right above the knee, lower portion of the quad. And while you're here, you can also roll that foot back and forth. So left and right, massaging that muscle and helping loosen it out. You would do that both sides, and then of course you would go up to more of the middle of the quad, and then same thing there as well. Small space. This is going to be a lot more focused than when people are rolling the whole thing like this, right? And then same thing, you would do both sides, and also here to add more movement and dig a little deeper into it, instead of just rolling, let's just add a heel lift off the floor. Think of doing a hamstring curl, right? So you're just lifting that heel towards the butt to about 90 degrees, and you can kind of, as I'm doing this, I'm going to rotate a little bit and kind of hit that quad in different angles. As you see, I'm tilted a little bit more this way now and really digging into it. So these are ways to properly foam roll instead of just rolling back and forth like most people do. This will really help dig in and alleviate those tight muscles. So the next one we'll do is our hip flexors. So right up at the top here, what you're going to do, same position, you're just sliding that roller a little higher up now to that hip flexor, and small rolls here, again, very focused. And again, not only are we going to just roll forward and back here, but we're going to add a little bit of rotation to it. So I'm going to wiggle around a little bit, turn this way, and you'll notice for me here, I notice I have a little bit more tightness in this area versus where I was just doing. So I need to be better about getting it from this angle. And then you can rotate a little bit the other way as well. But you can kind of wiggle around while you're here, find the spots that are tight, and you'll get a lot more out of your foam rolling. So the next thing we're going to do here is the inner thighs. So first we want to turn that foam roller the other way. This time we're going to take the leg that is not active and keep that straight back. The leg that is involved in the rolling here is going to come to that bend. like your Spider-Man again. And then just on the forearms, you're gonna roll in and out here. In and out, nice and slow. And again, these things are all important to do in regards to rolling, but incorporating more mobility, stretching, that's going to be just important as well, with really helping loosen up these areas, which will then help alleviate the lower back. So the next thing we're going to do is our IT band. So right here on the outer thigh, you're going to think of coming into a side plank. So outer thigh is on the foam roller, and I'm going to roll just small rolls back and forth. Again, very focused areas. I'm not doing the whole leg all at once. I'm just focused on the bottom portion, and then I might come up a little bit towards the center area. Small rolls back and forth to really dig in there. Again, I can also add a little bit of rotation forward and back here, just very subtle, so that I'm not going so far that I'm focusing on the quad, or then so far back that I'm just going over the hamstrings again. The other thing we can do here is also holding in one position, just start to drive that leg, the leg that is on the foam roller. Drive that heel back and forth, 90 degrees, just like we did when we were rolling the quads. And this will, again, allow you to really just dig in there and help open it up. Now the last one we're gonna do is foam roll those glutes. So we're just gonna take a seat on the roller with our knees bent, feet planted. And all we're gonna do here is cross the right ankle across the left knee. Now from here, I want to drive this right knee away from me, down to the floor. Okay, so I'm gonna get that glute stretch, and then from here, I'm gonna rotate my hips to the right as well. And then now we're isolating the right side butt cheek there. And you're just gonna do small rolls again, and while you're here, just like we did with everything else, a little bit of wiggling left and right will allow you to find those cranky areas and really allow you to isolate. Well, I hope this was helpful for you, and hopefully you find some relief from any lower back tightness and pain you might be dealing with. If you have any further questions about dealing with lower back pain and tightness, or you're looking for training, especially dealing with lower back issues, be sure to reach out to me. You can check out my website here, agfperformancetraining.com, and get in contact with me. Thanks for watching.